most people will already be familiar with the fact that cheetahs are the fastest land mammal in the world, capable of reaching speeds over 100 kilometers an hour on just their 4 legs alone. But what you might not be aware of are all the different adaptations to their body. That's the changes that have occurred over long periods of time as part of their evolution to allow them to reach such speeds. First off, they are much smaller than the other big cats that we have here in the park, like our lions and our tigers. The average cheetah will weigh about 30 to 35 kg. So if they're very light, it means they're light on their feet. If anyone has a pet cat at home, you will know that a domestic cat's claws go all the way back into their paw. They're what's called retractable, and that's the case for every cat in the world, except for the ones behind me. So they have semi-retractable claws, which means they're always slightly out, giving them excellent grip on the ground when they're running. As well as that, they have a very flexible backbone, so they can fold their whole spine, essentially allowing them to get their hips up underneath their shoulders and their back legs underneath their front legs, using their entire body as a spring. So in one single stride, when a cheetah is at full pace, they can clear 5 to 7 meters without touching the ground. Past that then, they have a long tail, but they use that basically like the rudder at the back of a boat. It's how they steer themselves. So if they're chasing something very nimble, very agile in the wild, they want to be able to stay on their heels when they turn as well, because that will help them to catch their kill. After that, if you take a look at their eyes, you will see what are called tear marks, the black lines that come down from their eyes to the corner of their mouth. They essentially act as sunglasses for a cheetah. They draw the glare of the sun away from their eyes and prevent them from being blinded while they're chasing. Because for a cat, they actually don't have excellent sense of smell like most cats would, but they do have very, very good eyesight. So the chances are, if they can see it, there's a good chance that they will be able to catch up with it. And then apart from those external features, they also have very wide nasal cavities to allow them to get loads of oxygen into their body. They have a very large heart and lungs relative to the size of their body as well, much bigger than ours would be relative to the size of a human body, to allow them to pump that oxygen and pump blood around their body to try and maintain their sprint for as long as possible. But even with that being said, when they get up to their top speed, they can only maintain it for between 30 and 60 seconds before they overheat so much that they can't carry on, they tire themselves out and have to sit down again. So they do need to get within striking range of maybe about 20 meters before they'll actually break into a sprint. When they do break into that sprint, they can accelerate from 0 to 112 kilometers an hour within 3 seconds. It's faster than most sport cars can even manage. So you can see that they're doing what cats do best behind me here at the moment, which is being quite lazy. And as you can imagine, we need to encourage them to actually get their exercise. So this is where STEM can come into the process in terms of helping us enrich the lives of these animals by mimicking the wild and getting them to do what they do best, which is sprint after some food. So how is STEM helping to improve the cheetah's environment in captivity? Behind me is the park's cheetah race. The race is an opportunity for cheetahs to perfect the art of hunting and to attain quite high speeds while doing so. How does it work? Food is suspended from a lure. The lure is attached to a zip wire. And the rangers can operate the race from a control room, which houses the technology that determines the speed at which the race will operate. Usually, speeds in the region of 60 to 65 kilometers an hour can be attained as the cats chase after their meal. So essentially the Cheetah Run operates in the enclosure behind us here, allows our cheetahs to express natural behaviours and mimic the hunting that they would carry out in the wild here in captivity as well.